You are listening to a unique and special production of the 110-250 Audio Studio.
What's this, a daybird? A young bird? Who's the bird? Where is he?
So wind my watch the other way, change the date and fix the day. I'll meet you when the sun goes down.
Sure. Michael Norman Booz, what's up, baby?
Dude, living the dream.
I love it. Let's get into it. You ready?
I guess. I don't know what. Yeah, sure.
First and foremost, the beginning of this process all came from you. I reached out. We started talking about podcasts.
Yeah.
You had mentioned heavyweight. And at
Right.
the end of that conversation, you said what?
Something to the effect of, was it the rise and fall of the Daybirds? Something to that effect. I said, you need to do a podcast because you know the deal about the rise and fall of the Daybirds.
That right there was the birth of the moment. It made complete sense. And I know we had, over the years, talked about the lore and the history, and all of us close to these guys know intimately well. But I think a lot of people on the outside didn't really realize how brilliant and how good these guys were and how close they got. So I don't want to take any words out of your mouth, but I think that's a part of this after 20 years, is that I think it's totally worthy of the world to know what the Daybirds were and what they were all about.
Definitely.
So to that end, I think the one thing that I wanted to do going into this, walking into it was kind of the unknown. But after all of the interviews, I thought I was going to splice together this one story, this one concise podcast. But as I started thinking about it, this all happened. We talked and texted in October. All of the interviews happened in November of 2022. And now we're talking in late March of 2023. And I think I realize now that I let this sit and listen to them, each of these guys need to have their own respective voice. And people need to take time to understand what everybody's perspective is on this.
But I guess you're totally right, and I agree, because there could be the way to braid it all together, I guess, into some linear story. But I think you're right. After you said that, it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Because each of these guys, and that's what I realized, there's going to be kind of a subjective spin that I had with each of them, just based on what their knowledge base was and who they are. But I think all of it together is going to kind of stitch and tie it all together. So that's the idea. It's slated to come out on April 1st because these guys are all jokers and jackasses. Yeah. So April 1 makes total sense to do it. That's where we're at. So we'll let everybody just listen to it and figure it out. And hopefully at the end of all of this, we can all come together and have a conversation, shake 2023's hand.
I mean, obviously that would be the crown of it, but just as, like you said, man, like these people all mean so much to me, even as we've, gone our own directions. But, like, they're all branded on my soul, you know what I mean? Like, they're very important people to me. So that conversation, I think, would be magnificent. I mean, I wasn't around when all that stuff went down either, so I don't know if it's stuff they got to talk about or if it's even something that needs to be done, but just having all four of them in a room probably, or I'm looking forward to that if it can happen.
Just the idea that you had that this should happen has been completely exhilarating to hear all the stories and to bring it back and to stitch it all together. So I wanted to christen this by having kind of an introductory piece to all of this.
Okay.
So thank you for the Big Bang Daybirds moment, and the world very soon is going to be able to forever listen to the story of the Daybirds in their own unique voice. So we will dispense the dogs to let the world, listen to the story.
Magic. and thank you for doing, I didn't think you'd run with the ball the way you did, dude. You picked it up and ran, and thank you to the Daybirds for being a thing, man.
I love it. Michael Norman Booz, this has been wonderful. The next time we speak, hopefully we'll have more of the continuation of the Daybirds tale. It should live on forever, as far as I'm concerned.
Looking forward to it.
Daybird, a young bird, who's the bird? Where is he?